I've always been scared like to have a baby. Is the baby monitor. So good morning, guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but I am back feeling like myself. Yesterday I went to my 6-month postpartum appointment. Like, can y'all really believe that it's even been not 6 months, 6 weeks? Yeah, 6 weeks. It's been 6 weeks of my little twin. Not my twin, my husband's twin, but I want him to be my twin. You laughing at me? But it's definitely been an amazing journey. Transitioning into motherhood, it's come with a lot of sleepless nights, and the days just kind of intertwine into each other. Half of the time we didn't know what time or what day of the week it was, but finally I feel like we're getting back into the groove of things. Hey, papas, what's wrong? I'm about to call it a day. Y'all just watched me make my whole drink, and now it's on the ground. Okay, y'all, I'm back. We had to take a break for me to put him to sleep. My drink is completely watered down. I don't feel like remaking it, but in today's video, I'm gonna be showing, I don't think that I ever showed you guys the actual or the finished nursery room. So this is going to be kind of like a little vlog, just me showing you guys, as well as me doing like a 6-week postpartum check-in. And so come on. So the plan for this video was for me to come in here and clean before I did this video, because it's literally stuff everywhere. But this is the reality of having a newborn, y'all. Like, you literally have to move so fast, whether you're changing a diaper, you're changing a baby, you kind of just throw things wherever. Like, there's literally stuff everywhere. So I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to clean up in here, because this don't make no sense. Like, I literally just made a video the other day about me not being able to like be at peace if my house is a mess, but I couldn't see that. We barely come in this room, y'all. Like, of course, he's sleeping with us for right now in his bassinet. For the most part, we have let him sleep with us as well, just because sometimes he sleeps longer in our bed, in between us or whatever. But for the most part, he sleeps in the bassinet. But y'all, I literally have stuff pretty much everywhere. Okay, so now that I got that trash out of the way, we can chit chat now. But yeah, so yesterday I had my postpartum appointment, and it went really well. Of course, they just ask you questions about, you know, like basically your mental health. You know, how are you doing mentally? Are you, you know, depressed? Are you thinking about harming yourself and stuff like that? Just because I know that a lot of women do experience postpartum depression, and it's very common. And so honestly, before I got pregnant, like, that's always been one of my biggest fears, is that I would fall into go into depression, just because, like, you know, being a mom, definitely it's a huge change or a huge adjustment. Like, even, you know, you guys know that I'm so used to like going all of the time. You know, like, I've been working for a long time. Even like my YouTube channel, I created when I was 20, but I had already been doing nails and working since I was 14. And so, like, I've always known that, like, I enjoy like going and coming and, you know, doing things at my own pace, which is fast. And so I knew that, whenever I had a baby, I was going to have to slow down. For example, like right when I started this video, I literally had to sit down for about an hour to feed him again, to put him back to sleep. And so I always wondered what that would be like for me, going from a person that is always on the move, always working, to someone that has to sit down, and put work to the side. Like, I always wonder how that would make me feel, like if it would bother me mentally, if I would feel unproductive, because before I had him, like, if I wasn't being productive, like, I automatically had an attitude. So, and my husband knows this. And so I kind of feared, what I would be like, or how I would be like mentally. But I will say that, having a baby comes with having to give yourself a lot of grace, and just knowing that, like, you have to slow down. And then plus, like, whenever you have a baby, I feel like that it's hard to even want to, like, be on the move. Like, you want to sit down and enjoy your baby and be in their face. And so that's all I've been doing. Y'all, look at how tiny this stuff is. And he literally outgrew this last week. He's in 0 to 3 months. All of this is a newborn size. So I am going to be keeping all of this for memories, because I wish that I had some of my baby clothes. But that's just me. Maybe he won't care. But it would be nice to one day show his wife, like, look at his little clothes, if I still have all this stuff by then. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I always, was kind of scared of going through, like I said, postpartum depression. But one of the biggest things that I have, like, realized or learned is that I personally feel that postpartum hits people the most when they have to do everything themselves, whether you're, single, or I feel like there's also a lot of, some people may not like when I say this, but a lot of single married women, to where the women is still having to do everything, like getting up at night by themselves, or literally just doing most of everything on their own when it comes to the baby. I feel like that for me would be really hard mentally. And so I'm definitely very, very blessed to have a husband that is very active as a husband, as a father. And so we have a really good, like, schedule, or like not even schedule, but just routine, where, like, I wake up, like right now he is sleeping a little longer, and I am pumping instead of letting him latch on. And so, like, in the middle of the night, he wakes up and feeds him, burps him, and put him back to sleep while I pump. Or, if I'm not pumping during that time, then I'll feed him and do everything while he gets a little bit of sleep. And so just having somebody that is, a team with you definitely helps a lot, and helps with, actually being able to enjoy your baby and enjoy postpartum instead of, going into depression. So if you, I feel like if, you have been in that situation to where, or maybe going through it right now, I definitely would say to give yourself grace and find enjoyment out of, your baby, and really just make the best out of the situation for yourself. I seen the post on Facebook yesterday, I believe, that said something about, basically having to put yourself first, because at the end of the day, like, depending on how our mental is how we're gonna, like, treat others. And so, like, if mentally we're drained, if mentally we're, like, depressed, we're not going to have much energy to give, to our kids or the people around us, which really the only one that matters at that point is your kid. But definitely, put yourself first. If you need to talk to somebody, definitely talk to somebody, and don't suffer in silence. But like I said, I'm definitely very blessed to have a great partner that allows me to be able to enjoy this whole journey. Okay, so we're finally getting somewhere. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I feel like it's been forever since I've been able to see the top of this dresser. Like, every time I changed him in here, I literally was just throwing his clothes and stuff up there. And so that's finally cleared off. Of course, I was just throwing stuff in the crib and the chair because I was trying to like not let dirty clothes and stuff pile up. And so I was washing it and just throwing it inside of the crib. But this is how the nursery room ended up looking like. As you guys know, this actually used to be my beauty room. My vanity used to be right there. And then I used to have a couch right here on this side. But then eventually I had my nail table right here. And so I gave that up, obviously, for it to be Lionel's nursery room. So I definitely loved how it turned out. I did redo the floors in here. It used to be carpet, so we ripped up the carpet and we put down floors. I did want this room to be very like minimalist. I didn't want too much going on in this room, and wanted to keep it pretty neutral as well. And then I didn't want like the walls cluttered, and so that's why I just did the frames, the tree, and like I said, just very minimalist, very neutral, very demure, very cutesy. But I've really been enjoying the nursery room because I do come in here and sit in the chair a lot, especially like some of those nights where he's really fussy and I'm having a hard time trying to put him back to sleep. I'll come in here and just sit on the rocking chair until he falls back asleep. That way I don't wake my husband up, or he'll do the same. He'll come in here and end up falling asleep in here with him on the chair. But out of the whole nursery room, I'm really excited to start, like, for eventually whenever he like starts sleeping in here when he's older, like to get that real experience of like, let me go check on the baby, you know, like with him being in his own room. But right now, one thing that we have been utilizing a lot is, oh, let me go get it. We've been using it in our bedroom and then in the living room. That way we can get work done while he sleep. But it is the baby monitor. So I feel like picking one was definitely very overwhelming because there's so many baby monitors out there on the market. But I ended up going with the Dr.Care Lumi baby monitor, and we absolutely been loving it. I did get the floor stand because obviously I can move it wherever I want. If you just get the monitor on its own, it just comes with a mount that will go on your wall. But obviously you guys can see that I've been toting it around from one room to the other. Like yesterday when I had my postpartum appointment, he stayed here with my husband, and so he was using the monitor in our bedroom to watch him while he got stuff done around the house. And then also I like how I'm able to like watch him on my phone. So not only can you just use the monitor, which is this one, not only can you just use the monitor, but you could also connect it to your phone. So every time he moves or anytime he cries, I get a notification and I'm able to go on there and look at him. You're also able to play lullabies on the camera. You're able to do the lights, as well as being able to like talk to him through the camera as well, which right now he's too young. That really doesn't work for him right now. Like whether I talk to him or not, he's gonna cry. And so we definitely been loving all of the features of the Dr.Care monitor. So if you're looking for one, this one definitely is a great one for sure. The camera is a 4K camera. And then even this monitor, the display on it is 1080 quality. So definitely really, really good quality. Unlike others, I feel like you looking like at an old 1900s TV. Like that's how bad the quality be. But definitely recommend this one. Let me see. So like I said, it has like different features where you could talk, you can play lullabies. Of course, you can adjust all of the brightness, the volumes. It does have a privacy mode as well. So like if you're changing the baby's diaper or maybe you're feeding the baby, you can move the camera to where it'll tilt down, which I'll show you guys. So right now I do have it in privacy mode because I can remember what I was doing and I put it in privacy mode. But as you guys can see, the camera is tilt down. And so let's take it off of privacy mode. Okay. And so you see it's moving back up. And I also like where like it literally instantly sends you a notification. Hold on. Okay, I had to turn it down. But it instantly sends you a notification. Here we go. It instantly sends you a notification if there's movement. Hold on, where is it? Okay. And then it'll also track you. So like if somebody come in here, like say somebody was to come in here and pick your baby up, whenever you go to like grab your baby, the camera will start following you. So like right now, everywhere I go is following me. So that I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, it definitely has a lot of great features. So I'll be sure to leave all of the information down below, as well as the link if you guys are interested in purchasing this baby monitor. Definitely comes in handy. My husband loved it yesterday when he was using it for the first time. So definitely be sure to go check it out. But anyways, back to my postpartum check-in. So as I mentioned earlier, I had my appointment yesterday, and y'all, I am ready to start working out. So I have been going on walks, but I'm ready to start going to the gym. And like, even though like before when I was going to the gym every day, like sometimes I dreaded having to go, or I just didn't feel like it. But since it's been so long since I've been, I think I stopped working out when I was like 35 weeks. And then I just was walking every day. So like now I miss it and I'm ready to go back. And of course, whenever I go back Monday, I'm not going to start off with weights. I'm just going to be doing body weight because I definitely lost a lot of my muscle. And obviously I don't want to like strain myself or hurt myself or anything. So we're going to take it slow. I do plan to like film like my postpartum fitness journey. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably post it on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to go follow me on there so you can keep up with my journey. But y'all know when I get to talking, but I'm gonna organize some of this clothes. At first, I only had his newborn clothes hung up, but now that he's grown into his 0 to 3 months, I'm having to like put some of the stuff up now, which some of the stuff still need to be washed. I didn't want to like wash everything because this is like one of my most dreadful tasks, is having to like wash everything. And then everything seemed like they come with like a million tags on them for whatever reason. And so I only washed what I knew I was going to use at the beginning. But I think, let me see. We didn't have too many newborn clothes because I knew he was going to be a big boy. And so what I took out, I think I put in here. So the newborn clothes that I took out was really all that we have. And then everything else is like, all of this is 0 to 3. All of this down here is 3 to 6. So we did good at not overbuying a whole bunch of clothes that he was going to only be in for. He was a newborn for a month, so that was good enough. I didn't think he was going to be in a newborn size at all. So he definitely gave me a little bit more than what I thought. But anyways, y'all, I keep getting off topic. But anyways, so yeah, so I went to my postpartum appointment yesterday, and I was hoping that she would clear me so I can go back to the gym and resume my normal activities. So I was happy that everything went well. She checked my incision I guess it was the incision, because I did have him vaginally and I did have a 2nd-degree tear. And so I ended up having to get stitches. And so she said everything healed up just fine. And she said that she asked me if I wanted to get on birth control, but y'all, I've been on birth control before, and birth control was not, like, I know a lot of people say like birth control is not for them, but really like birth control is not for me at all. Like, if you've been watching me for a while, you would know that like for a while I was struggling with like really bad anxiety, to where like I literally was having like anxiety attacks. Like I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like it was something on my chest, like some heavy on my chest. Like I couldn't sleep. I was having like really bad like nightmares. It was just horrible. Like I literally would not wish this on anybody. I don't have any enemies, so I can say enemies, but I don't wish that on anybody. And so I feel like that I didn't start having like anxiety until like I got on birth control. Because I remember one night, this is before I even got my house, but I remember one night, y'all, when I was staying, I was staying at my parents' house. And one night I just like couldn't sleep. I was literally like gasping for air. Like I was literally crying. I felt so anxious. And at that time, I didn't know, like, I literally did not know anything about anxiety. I didn't know what was wrong with me. And like, this was in 2020. So I thought I was having, I thought I had COVID. Hold on, y'all. Hello. Yes, this is she. Sorry, y'all. So at our church, they do this baby dedication service. Well, it's included in the Sunday service. And so I signed us up yesterday to do the baby dedication, where basically we just go up to the altar and they bless the baby or say a prayer over the babies. And I don't know. I literally don't know why I always get so emotional when I think about that, because like I think it was even before I was pregnant, like they'll show like on one of the they do like announcements before the service start, or not announcements, but like they have basically like commercials playing from things that they've done like in the church. And every time that they do a video of like the baby dedications, like I always be like about to cry. Like I don't know why. And so I told my husband, I was like, when it's time for us to do the baby dedication, like I know I'm gonna be a hot mess, like crying up there, like, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just like the fact of like dedicating our baby to like, Jesus, and everything that, like, even like with the anxiety, I feel like that's one of the worst things that have happened to me in my life. And so I've always been scared, like, to have a baby, because of everything that it comes with. And so I never knew like what my life would be once I did have a baby. And so just being thankful, for everything that God has done to my life. And it just makes me like really emotional for like, being able to introduce our baby to God and get him involved at an early age. And so I'm really excited about it. And I just know that I'm going to be on that altar crying my eyes out when they do it, because just the thought of it, like, even like I said, even when we see the video of other people doing it, like I start crying. Like every time they play the video at church, like I'm crying or trying not to cry. And so I'm definitely going to be a hot mess when that day comes, which is going to be November 20, whatever that Sunday is, 23rd, I think. But that's what that call was about. But anyways, back to the anxiety part. So like I struggle with really, really bad anxiety at that time. And so I forgot what I was talking about, y'all. Okay. So we were talking about the birth control. And so it's like I was having like really, really bad anxiety attacks. And like I said, I thought it was COVID at that time. Like, I don't know what was happening. And then one night I was laying there like in the middle, or I guess after I just had an anxiety attack. And I started like trying to figure out like, why is this happening to me? Like, what have I done differently that has caused me to feel this way? And literally the only new thing that I had been doing was me getting on birth control. And so I remember that night I got up and I grabbed my birth control box or whatever, and I looked it up to see what was it? I looked up the name of it, and I was just scrolling and basically doing some research on that birth control. And I remember I stumbled upon this like forum where basically people were asking about that birth control and just basically talking about their experience with it. And when I tell y'all, like, literally no lie, word by word, what they were saying is exactly what I was experiencing, which was not being able to sleep, like having really bad like attacks to where you can't breathe, you feel like your chest is tight, and basically all of the symptoms of anxiety. And it was saying that birth control was causing them to feel that way. And so I stopped taking it after that, but I feel like it still took a while for it to like get out of my system. And then eventually, like some years later, I ended up getting back on birth control again. But I told my doctor about, how it made me feel the first time. And so she did change me to like a lower dosage, I guess you could say, hoping that, I wouldn't go through that. And it ended up doing the exact same thing. And I stopped taking that one like literally that same month, because I was like, no, like we're not about to do this again. And even then I was already hesitant on getting on birth control, but I knew at that time, like, no, not gonna have a baby, not getting pregnant by this man, like not my husband, but I just knew like a baby was not in the picture for me. And so yesterday when I went and she was asking like, do you want to get on birth control? And I'm just like, nope. Like, of course, like I don't plan to have a baby right now, but we're just going to end up, just using protection. And cause I didn't even want nothing that, has to get inserted into me to where I can't, take it out. Like I would be able to like stop taking the pills, like something that I can't remove myself or stop taking myself. Like I'm not doing it. And so that's just, maybe it's not the smartest idea, but that's just from my experience. And I feel like it's a lot of women out there that have experienced the same thing. And so I'm definitely not putting myself through that again. Okay, I feel like a lot of these he won't be able to wear for a while, and some of these can be given away, y'all. I still have like some. Well, now this is 18 months and 0 to 3, so he'll still be able to fit these. Where's that little thing? But y'all, another thing, y'all, a lot of these outfits that we got are from Walmart. And y'all, Walmart is starting to have like the cutest little outfits for kids. And of course, super affordable. So if you haven't checked out their baby clothes, this is your sign to do that, because what they say, save money. What's their logo? Live better, save money, live better, or whatever it is. But it's definitely just that, because you save yourself a lot of money. This is 18 months. Is this 18 months? But y'all, look at, we went to this like consignment shop, and we got some of the cutest little like pants, and they're so tiny. And so a lot of this clothes actually came from the consignment shop that we went to a few months back. I think that's enough for today. This one can be given away. I think this was newborn size. But yeah, so that is how my 6-week postpartum appointment went. As I mentioned, I'm really excited to just not necessarily start feeling like myself again, because I feel like I haven't lost myself. I'm not going to say yet, because it's not going to happen. But, I'm just glad that I didn't lose myself, and I was able to, be able to actually enjoy my pregnancy, and then enjoyed my baby so far. And I'm definitely looking forward to many more weeks of postpartum and just enjoying life as a mom in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys again soon.